Good morning, everyone. This is Suzette Denny, and I'm getting back on my YouTube channel to make a little video about a morning routine that I do that can help maybe someone out. I do this mostly every day, unless I'm, you know, off somewhere, but mostly every day for the last 3 years I've done this. So, the first thing that I do when I wake up is I realize that I'm in my bed and I start thanking things that are around me. So thank you for my soft bed, for my pillows, my blankets. Um, I when I lived in Florida, thank you for this beautiful sunset. Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. Um, just thank you for the little things that are around us. It helps for our day to be more positive. So when you get up in the morning, just look around and notice the things to be grateful for. I know a lot of us get up and it's like, oh, I have to go to work, and we start this complaining, but don't do that. Just start with the positive things, and and then you'll find that you have a more positive day. And then I'll start praying. Most of the time, I will pray for other people, um, not for myself, like bring me a Lamborghini, or I'll pray for like my mom's health or my son's achievements or my daughter's marriage, um, because like attracts like, and if you send out loving thoughts, then it always comes back to you. Now, I don't do this for a reason to get that back to me, but I do it because I love my family and I love the world and I just want to send out love. And I always seem to get that back. A lot of my life is good vibrations. People notice it in my life, people message me on Facebook, and it's just because most of the time I just stay really positive. Now, the third thing I do is I usually go get coffee, or I like to journal. Sometimes I like to just listen. I do a meditation. I either will sit there quietly for about 5 to 10 minutes, or I will put in my earphones, find a meditation on YouTube, and I will just listen, just to be quiet, not to be thinking about anything is my goal. I know we have thoughts, we have to do this, we have to do that, but I can get to a state of nothingness, is what I call it, where I can just have nothing in my head, which is wonderful, because how many things are in our head all day? We just always thinking about something. But if we just concentrate, and sometimes people have a mantra. I never had to have this, but if you start with a mantra, which is a word, all through your meditation, you could say love, love, love. Or even when something comes in your head, like I have to go to work, I have to do this, say love, and it just like neutrals it out. Because if you can get this time and space of just like a meditation of quietness, it will bring your day just so much better. I can't really explain what it does. It just makes you have more peace in your life. That's the original um, reason why I started meditating. My life was so crazy, and I started meditating, and then my life got a lot peacefuler. Now, you have to, another thing is you have to believe when you go out in the world that you'll attract good things. So we're going to go out in the world and negative things are going to happen, but you can look at it differently. You can just say, oh no, people's going to complain, because that's majority of people are going to complain, and just say, oh no, I don't believe that. Or, and maybe you can try to, give them your perspective. Maybe they will change, but majority of people will not change. So you just keep believing your own truth. That is the best thing to do. So, people might say, oh, I hate this. This is not fair. And, and you just say, okay, well, that's what, you believe, but I don't believe that. I believe all positive things are coming to me. Now, not all positive come to me all the time, and I do have feelings of sadness, and but most, I'd say 80% of the time, I feel fine. I feel good because a like attracts like. So if you feel positive, you get positive back. If you feel negative, you're going to find a bunch of negative stuff coming back. So this is a real thing. Um, I believe it to be true, and that's one thing you have to do. You have to believe it to be true. Do you believe that if you put positive vibes out, that you'll get positive vibes back? I do believe that, so positive stuff comes in my life. And that's why I wrote that book, Believe, because whatever we believe to be true is true for us. So, and another thing, when you go out into the world, don't try to change people. Just, if you change yourself and then they look at you as an example, most of them will be like, what the hell are you on? Or what is going on with you? Things work out for you. Things are positive in your life. Well, this is why. Because I practice being positive. This is a practice. I get up every morning and I practice on looking at the good things. I practice on looking at things that I love. I practice on sending love to my family. It's a practice. That's why, like in church, you go to church and you show up, and it's a practice of praying. So everything we do in a life is a practice. And so if you just look at it like this, and your life will change. It absolutely will. I get up every morning and I just do my practice. Then I like to walk. I love to walk. If most of the time, if it's nice outside, I will go outside and I will walk. I love walking. That's kind of like a form of meditation. All this, you're breathing in and out, and it makes you feel good, and it's just wonderful. I love doing that. And just be mindful of what you're saying out in the world. Be nice, be mindful, be kind. If people are saying negative things to you, it's usually about them. And you can almost read what they're saying, well, this person did this to me, and, and say, well, that's fine, but, just let's let that go and let's have a nice day. You can try that. It's not always going to work, but for me, it usually does. Sometimes I still get in, I'll hold on to something for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, okay, I've got to let this go because it actually starts hurting inside my body. I'll be getting like back pain. Oh my God. And back pain means something's on your back. You're holding something on your back. So you need to get rid of it. You've got too much you're holding on to. So you need to let go. And let go is harder than what you believe it is. It's been hard for me. But you do it for yourself. Just like forgiveness. I forgive that person not because what they did was right, but because I can't hold this in me anymore because I'm feeling so much anger, and it's making, because like attracts like, anger in my life. So you just have to attract peace. If you want to attract peace, you have to give it. If you want to attract kindness, you have to give it. And you can try to get people to see this, but if they don't want to see it, you have to allow that too. Some people like to be negative. They don't know any other way. We were taught that when we were children, oh my God, we have to do this, we have to do this, we don't have, a lot of this stuff's made up. People tell me I have to do this and this and this, and I'm like, why? I don't even have to do half of that stuff. I mean, I can, and I can put it on my list, but I don't, because actually we don't really need to do any of it. We only need to do what makes us feel good. So if somebody calls and says, oh, let's go to lunch today, and you have an opening and you want to go and it feels good to you, do it. But if you have a list of things you're doing, you already have a plan, and you don't want to go to lunch today, and you feel like it, don't. Learn to say no to things you don't want to do. It's okay to say no. These people aren't going to hate you. You know, I used to think of that. Oh, I have to say yes because, you know, she's not going to like me. Actually, they respect me more because they're like, oh, wait, yeah, you didn't just drop your everything to do this. And you respect yourself enough to say no. It's boundaries, it's respect, it's love. If you can say no to things that you don't want to do, it is loving yourself. Because who wants to do stuff that they don't want to do and they're like, just like you go to the job that you don't love? Nobody wants to do that, but we all do it for money. I understand we all need money. I totally understand that. But for your being, your soul, your to be joyful, you have to say no to things you don't want, and that's including jobs, friends, parents, husbands, things, children. Sometimes I'll tell my children yes, and then sometimes I'll say no. It just depends on how I'm feeling, what I have going on that day. Um, and when I'm saying yes to that, I'm there and I'm in the moment with that. But if you say yes to things that you want to say no about, you're not going to be there. You're not fully going to be there with that person, with that thing, because you don't want to be there. So we have to learn to do that. So these are just actually my morning things that went into my daily things, but this is all true. This is all true for me. Maybe it resonates with you. Hopefully you can get something from this. But the things that I love to do is just look at things from a good, loving perspective. That's all that we need to do. A positive, loving perspective. This will bring you more joy, I promise you. It'll bring you more happiness, I promise you. It has changed my whole life. I lived in a house of craziness. And one day, in the midst of the craziness, I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I never did that anymore. And things started falling away. But I have peace in me. It doesn't mean there's peace out here or over there, or somebody could be yelling in the other room, but you're like, oh, I'm peace. Yeah, you really feel like that because you're like, whatever they have going on, and if they want help, they'll come and ask you, and usually they do ask me, and then I will tell them, and sometimes they still want to just keep their arguing. They want to keep that. That's what they like. That's what they're used to. Change is difficult. I have changed my whole life. I have changed my house. I have changed my looks. I have changed my mind. I have changed my feelings. I have changed everything about myself. Mostly, I'd say about 20% is still there of myself, but I've changed a lot about myself, and one of them are my feelings and how I look at things. And the other day somebody said, well, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. And I'm like, you didn't hurt my feelings. I didn't get hurt. Maybe 3 years ago I would have got hurt on that. But you know, I didn't have any feelings about it because I know that miserable people like misery. And they don't mean to, but that's where they're at. So you can try to help them, but if they don't want your help, don't keep trying because you're just wasting your energy, and put it back on yourself and do things that make you happy, that you love. It's not selfish. It's actually will make you feel like a way better person, a way, a feeling. Your feeling as a person will make you feel so much better. You'll just feel wonderful. So, like I said, I don't feel wonderful all the time, but 80% of the time I do. So, I just wanted to get on here. I'm going to start doing these little 15, 20-minute, you know, YouTube videos, and hopefully it can help somebody. I've been doing this for 3 years, you know, spirituality, waking up every morning, being grateful, And because of that, it brings me greater things. And I want that for you too. So if you like my video, that's fine. And if you don't have to do it either. But I'm just putting this out here. You can change if you want, and your life will change if you want. It's up to you. And I love you all, and I will talk to you in another video. Love you.